an expanding session as far as coming 2 hours is concerned. And let me tell you what we have traveled through right from the basics of marketing management. Then we have gone to strategy making. We have got into pricing strategies. We have kind of delved into various aspects of marketing angle. In today's session, it will be divided into 3 parts. We'll be addressing on 3 areas. So first, let's understand the market that we are operating on. Now, you see companies like maybe a Reliance with Tata. You see a Vodafone with an Idea, or you see Mercedes with a BMW, or you see ITC along with Parley. So what is happening? Primarily, if you see, in all these companies or segments, competition is immense. And you find across all domains that in every functional domain where the organization work, be it a product kind of industry or a pure service-based orientation, we have seen through evolution of decades and centuries that competition is increasing manifolds. So the first area that we would be addressing in our session would be creating competitive advantage. So how, being a marketing manager for working for any organization, we can create a competitive advantage in such a way that the company is a standout. The procedures and the processes that are being laid out are different, unique, and yet profitable for the growth of the organization. So in the coming half an hour to 45 minutes, we'll be addressing on creating the competitive advantage. And let me tell you that you walk across your house, right from the door itself, anything and everything that you see attracts competition. Now, competition could be within the same functional domain as direct competitors, or it could be cross-functional competitors as well. So we'll discuss this further as we lay out. So first, the topic outline. What are we going to understand in creating the competitive advantage? The topic outlines would be: 1. Competitor analysis. 2. Competitive strategy. And 3. Balancing customer and competitive orientation. So we will be addressing in these 3 areas. 1. The competitor analysis. How are you going to analyze your competitor? Second, once you analyze it, what kind of strategies that you are going to lay down based on the competition? And how are you also going to balancing the customer and the competitor orientation? And we will back it up with lots of examples as well to understand this much better. So what's first? Competitor advantage. Now when we say competitive advantage requires delivering more value and satisfaction to target customers than competitors do. So when we say any company has a advantage vis-a-vis the competitor, in other words, it means that it is able to give more value to the customer. Now, value we have always understood could be based on need, want, demand. If a company can give more value to its end customer vis-a-vis competition, then it naturally has a competitive advantage. The second is competitive strategies. When we say of competitive marketing strategies, are how companies first analyze their competitors and then develop value-based strategies for profitable customer relationship. So when any company is drawing out a plan or a strategy based on the competition, it also sees that it meets the values, number one, and also how it is developing a relationship with the customer so that the association is for a longer time. So we will look into this one by one. So first, competitor analysis. So when we say competitor analysis, it is a process of identifying, assessing and selecting key competitors. So there are key, when we are saying that we need to analyze competition or competitor, first identifying who the actual competitors are, to assessing, assessment could be based on various areas that we will look into, and selecting how to go about it. So identifying is the company who the competitors are. Assessing competitors means their objective, strategies, strengths and weaknesses, and also reaction time or pattern. And then based on this, selecting which competitors to attack or avoid as well. So when we say competitor analysis, it's about identifying, assessing and selecting. Now, when we say in identifying competitors, competitors can include all firms making the same product or class of products. For example, now take an example of Coke. Now, a soft drink manufacturer. Now, the exact direct competition for any Coke product would be the similar Coke, any aerated drinks or non-aerated drinks as well. For example, aerated drink could be Pepsi, it could be Thums Up, it could be Limca, and also the non-aerated drinks and class as well. Could be a mango drink, could be an orange drink, could be a fruit drink or a pulp drink. So this is direct. Also, all firms making products that supply the same service as well. One was the aerated category in the example and also the non-aerated category because it was a drink. And also all firms competing for the same consumer share. In fact, in the 1980s to 90s, Coke, when it started off, it started with a big vision itself. They had the vision of actually, they are not looking only at aerated and non-aerated drinks only. They were looking much beyond. In fact, their vision was to actually replace water with Coke, a big time vision. Obviously, then it took a U-turn because of the health hazards related to aerated drinks. But the vision it had about replacing water by Coke itself. So you can have a direct competitor or indirect competitors as well. Now, how do you assess competitors? Now, when we say assessing competitors, it means looking into their objectives. It could be profitability, market share growth, cash flow, technological leadership, or service leadership. Now, every organization have their key holes in certain areas. Now, for example, Reliance for that matter. Reliance is a company that is known to have key financial strength in terms of profitability. That means normally there are different ways to do businesses. One of the ways to do business is you have your own, we are speaking from a pure financial angle. Now, one of the ways is you yourself have a good, strong financial background. Number one, that's your own. It could be through lineage or your own earned. The other way is you do business, either first option is you do on your own money or somebody else's money. So what Reliance started off with in 18 to the 90s was doing businesses through others' money, that's people's money, through share option plans, through equity markets, through debentures. So this is about profitability. So that means when you talk of Reliance, their own money was not put in the market at risk. So it was all people's money and their own as well. So that means the risk element about it goes down and hence becomes more profitable as well as far as the company is concerned. So one of the key strength areas for Reliance in 80s, 90s and to the earlier part of 21st century was a key profitable business and the financial model that they operated in. We also speak in terms of market share growth, cash flow, technological leadership. So when we call of Apple, it's always about technological leadership. Apple, Samsung. When we talk about the modern era giants in across industries, are all about technological leadership. How you can put technology ahead, not only ahead, but also the first mover advantage in the segment as well. It could be service leadership as well. So based on these objectives, the competitor strategy could be strategic group offers the strongest competition. So when we say of assessing competitor, we look at from their objective perspective as well and from their strategy perspective as well. And then assessing competitor. Now assessing competitor can be done, if you look into the slide, could be done through asking questions like, what can our competitors do? Not only now what are they doing, but maybe in coming 5 years as well. What is the maximum they can do? Could they reduce their price? What is the technological strength they have? What is the people strength they have? What is the financial stability that they have? What is their penetration level? How is their logistic team? So there are lots of areas that you can ask as questions as far as competitors are concerned. And then the second tool of assessing is benchmarking. You benchmark them. So when we say we ask question, we ask question by an evaluation criteria. And the criteria is benchmarking is a tool where you evaluate maybe on a 0 to 10 scale, market, and maybe through quantitative or qualitative benchmarking. And then it also involves estimating competitors' reaction as well. That means that what will our competitors do? Suppose if our organization put forth a plan or strategy, what will be the competitors' reaction? Let's take an example. Suppose you based on the analysis of competition and competitors thought that reduction of price could be a good strategy as of now. Now, when you are assessing competitors, you also need to assess that if you reduce the prices, would the competitor do so? Number one. Even if it does so, is it less than you or will be similar to you or will be a bit more than you? Now, all these factors are also influencing your brand, your equity and the company's image as well. So very important to understand this dynamics, and hence if you see competition in a certain way benefits a lot as far as the end customers are concerned, because if just to make more market penetration, people reduce the price. You take classic example of Honda, for example. Now Honda, if you see internationally, they're always known for their big cars, never for mid-size or small-size cars. But Honda, when they want to make deep penetration into Asian Indian markets, they thought that the big size car is not, the Honda City, their flagship brand, is not making waves because the major chunk of Indian driving population has either a preference to small cars or mid-size cars. Given that in the backdrop, Honda had to come with the lower variants of Bravo and Amaze. You might be seeing the marketplace. So, and that's what competitor has done, because competition is available. You find the Maruti providing services, you find Tata providing this market, you find Hyundai with the i10 and i20 model supplying or catering to this market of small and mid-sized cars. So competition in that way helps the end customer, but from this angle, the company gets to access the competitors well. Then once you assess the data, the next stage is selecting competitors to attack or avoid. Now, a customer value analysis determines the benefits, the target customer value, and how customers rate the relative value of various competitors offer. It's important to understand customer value analysis needs to be done, that what is the value that the organization is going to give, and identifying the major attributes that the customers value and the importance of these values are, and also assessment of the company's and the competitor's performance of the valued attributes. So what value is giving and how the value is going to benefit the customer is what the competitor analysis takes ahead. Then we look into the strength and weakness of competitors, whether it is close or a distant competitor. Now, close could be a direct competitor. Distant is far less. For example, a Coke and a Pepsi is close competition. Coke and a non-aerated drink could be any of the non-aerated, could be a Mars or a Sprite or a lemon drink, could be the distant competitor. The good and the bad competitors. Good and bad over here means the image of the organization it refers to. Then designing a competitive intelligence system. So once we have done a competitor analysis, then we do strategizing what to do, and then designing a competitor intelligence system. That means it identifies competitive information and the best source of this information. It continuously collects information, checks information for validity and reliability. It interprets information. It organizes information as well. It not only evaluates but organizes how to go about it and sends then key information to relevant decision makers. So once you integrate data, you give this information to the strategic business people who are designing the strategy as well, and then which responds to inquire about competitors, also looking into what competitors would do in a similar scenario. Now, competitive strategy. So we have first discussed about competitor identification of competition and competitor. Now the strategies about it. So approaches to address marketing strategies would be 1. Entrepreneurial marketing, 2. Formulated marketing, and 3. Entrepreneurial marketing. Now 2 words are confusing, so we'll address and understand this first. When you speak of entrepreneurial marketing, it involves visualizing an opportunity and constructing and implementing flexible strategies. When you think of entrepreneurship, it's always about exploration. We always speak of possibilities. We always think of what else. We always speak of what's new. So what new could be done from seeking the information is about entrepreneur's marketing. Second is formulated marketing. That means it involves developing formal marketing strategies and following them closely. Following means what are being traditionally being applied, what are being tried and tested are formulated marketing. And then we have the entrepreneurial marketing, where it involves the attempt to re-establish an internal entrepreneurial spirit and refresh marketing strategies and approach. Now in entrepreneurial marketing, it's about that we pick up strategies maybe which we could have used 5 years back, which could be reintroduced. It could be with a new plank. But the point is, it was part of the internal process, and that's what entrepreneurial marketing is. When you speak of entrepreneurial marketing, it's about discovering altogether new way of dealing with things. So let's speak with examples. Now, when we speak about advertisements, now all media companies, if you see, drive home their business from entrepreneurial marketing. It's always about newness, what's different. But vis-a-vis, if you see a formulated marketing, entrepreneurial marketing, these are more domains or specific functions where the market has matured, where it's more of a stabilized industry. If you see pharmaceutical industry, if you see automobile industry, if you see manufacturing sectors, it's more about formulated marketing and entrepreneurial marketing. But if you see industries like IT, you see industries like media industry, you see industries like animation. Now, these are all entrepreneurial marketing as well. So now we will discuss on competitive strategies. Now, the basic competitive strategies we drive home from the Michael Porter's 4 basic competitive position strategies, and those are cost leadership, differentiation, focus, and middle of the road. Let's understand this one by one. When we say overall cost leadership strategy, it is when a company achieves the lowest production and distribution cost and allows it to lower its prices and gain market share, is cost leadership. So when you speak about Maruti, when you speak of companies like Mankind, FDC, when you speak about companies like Micromax, now these are the companies who work on the cost leadership model, means they work on volume business. That means they sell more, and since they sell more, they could reduce the per unit cost of the product and hence achieve their profitability. It's about cost leadership. The second could be differentiation strategy. So when you speak of differentiation strategy, it is when a company concentrates on creating a highly differentiated product line and marketing program, so it comes across as an industry class leader. So it's always about differentiation. So that's where Samsung comes into the picture. It's always about differentiating your product which is different. You always have a GSK or Eli Lilly, where they have their own R&D to bring in some differentiated product and niche to the segment. Focus strategy by Porter model is when a company focuses its effort on serving few market segments well rather than going after the whole market. Now, when we say a focus strategy, let's take an example, Ranbaxy. Now, currently taken over by Sun, but Ranbaxy was there in the industry for close to 40 years. 40-50 years it was there in the industry. Now, generally an organization which is there 40-50 years, they tend to move to other domains. This is about national company. You take about GE, General Electric. Now, they restricted the domains in a single domain function of electrical zone. Similarly, with Ranbaxy, it was pharmaceutical. Never thought about moving to some other sector, maybe associate sector also, apart from pharma. It was a focus strategy. Unlike, say for example, ITC. ITC was always a cigarette company, but it never restricted itself to cigarettes, but they thought about a new vision, about expanding to other domains. So that was not a focus strategy. And when we are saying strategies, we never say this is right strategy or wrong strategy. It's a question of what suits and adapts well. It's always about relevancy. How much relevant it is from the company's perspective at that particular time becomes important. And Porter believed that a company that pursued a clear strategy would achieve superior performance, and that companies without a clear-cut strategy would not succeed. And those which do not have a clear-cut strategy, it is designated as the middle of the road. When we say middle of the road, means not clear which side to go for. Is it a differentiation strategy, cost leadership, or the focus strategy? Michael Tracy and Fried suggested that the companies can gain leadership positions. This is an important point. They say that companies can gain leadership positions by delivering superior value to the customer in 3 strategies or value disciplines, and those are: 1, it could be operational excellence; 2, it could be customer intimacy; 3rd, product leadership, or a combination of any of these 3. So let's talk about one by one. When we say of operational excellence, you understand we are discussing under a competitive strategy, operational excellence. Now, operational excellence refers to a company providing value by leading its industry in price and convenience, by reducing cost and creating a lean and efficient value delivering system. That means their operations are very systematic. They are planned, they are organized, and hence could make many profit. Let's talk about customer intimacy. Customer intimacy, as the word itself suggests, it refers to a company providing superior value by segmenting markets and tailoring markets or products to match the need of the targeted customers. They are very much connected to the customer. Lots of banking companies are there. Now, for example, ICICI is a good name to mention in the Asian subcontinent, which has really created big waves as far as private banking is concerned, because banking always use this data about KYC or know your customer. Now, based on this data, they were always able to connect to the customers better. And the third is product leadership. When we talk of product leadership, it always refers to a company providing superior value by offering a continuous stream of leading edge products or services. Product leaders are open to new ideas and solutions and bring them quickly to the market. A classic example that we are giving from all time, Apple. There are various examples. There are Samsung as well. There are various other industry leaders as well. You talk among Indian companies, you talk about Mahindra as well. You talk of even small brands like Navneet, which is evolving and is kind of going to a comeback kind of situation. You talk of Mahesh Tutorials as well. So this is about product leadership. So when we look at competitor strategies, so we have the market leader strategy, we have the market challenger strategy, we have the market follower strategy, and we have the market niche strategy. So when we say market leader, it is the firm with the largest market share and leads the market price changes, product innovations, distribution coverage, and promotion spending. So they say if you are a market leader, you have great responsibility on you, because when you are a market leader, you are driving the market. That means innovation, if at all has to happen in the industry, it has to come through a leader. If it is about price sensitivity, it has to come through a leader. You take of ISBM as an example. 10 years of continuous service as far as distance education is concerned. It is a market leader in itself as far as distance MBA coaching is concerned. So, second, about market challengers. Now, when you say of market challengers, are firms fighting to increase market share. So that means they challenge the market. They might be late entrant and they want to make their presence felt in the industry. And then there are market followers. That means they are firms that want to hold on into their market share. That means they are there in the market and want to hold on to the market. And the market niches. Now, market niches are firms that serve small market segments not being pursued by other firms. Now, industries like resounding, the earphones that people use for hearing aid. Now, GN is a big name in that. Now, GN is a Dutch company, and not many players in the segment, but they are operating in the niche segment. You speak of insulin market. Still niche. Yes, there's many players that come in, but still a niche segment. It has not become a very generic domain. Companies like Lilly, Novo Nordisk are making their presence felt in this segment. It might be a small segment, but people are there where not many players are there. So these are market leaders, market challengers, market followers, and market niches. So when you talk of market leader strategies, if you are a market leader strategies that could be used are expand total demand. So you increase the awareness of the product either by there are various ways to expand total demand. It could be by giving different reasons why you should use the product or services. 1, 2, having deep penetration, looking into various, making advantage of fab, that is feature, advantage, benefit, and making people know about how the product could be used from different angles or dimensions as well. For example, mobile. Now, when we say of handset 10 years back, it was all about calling, messaging, maybe a Bluetooth. That's it. Maybe 10, 15 years back. But if you see the advent of technology coming into, there are various facets inbuilt into it. You talk of anything that's there in the system, it's a multi-purpose gadget. You have a voice, you have a message, you have an internet, you have a calculator, you have a weather forecasting unit installed, you have an internet, you have so many things installed within it, and lakhs of applications which gets connected to the real-time world. So that's about expanding total market. The other could be protect the current market. One is expansion, the other is protecting the market. For example, Parle. Biscuits or food industry in biscuits is close to a 25,000 crore industry in India. Now, Parle has close to 25-27% of market, which is a significant chunk considering the industry they are in. So they want to expand as well, yet at the same time they want to protect the current market from the competitors like Britannia, like ITC, or even smaller brands like Priya Gold as well. The third step in expanding market leaders could be also expand market share. That means to increase profitability, you can either increase the demand of the product by giving various usage through fab, or you can increase it through increasing market share, and market share could be increased by penetrating more into areas which they have not tapped for. For example, a lot of companies have started their units of rural marketing. Now, rural marketing, if you see automobiles for that matter, now if you see Tatas have their automobile segment in the cosmopolitan tier 1 and tier 2 cities. But if you go to the rural market, they have a niche, different product applicable for the rural market. For example, Tata Magic. The Tata Magic you will not find in the semi-urban to urban kind of location. So all companies know that if they have to expand their market, it has to be the rural market. Now, whichever topographical location you move on to, rural market attracts a lot of revenues, especially if you are coming and working in Asian industries. Then It could be expanding total demand. Now, demand could be expanded through developing new users or new uses. I repeat this. One, either through new users, that means the customers, or the benefits, so that you can get more customers or multiple usage, or more usage of its products itself. So these are various ways by which you can expand this total demand. You can protect current market by fixing or preventing weaknesses that provide opportunities to competitors. So we need to understand that you can protect current market also by the fact that you identify and understand your weakness and protect that so that the companies could not make way through, or by maintaining consistent prices that provide value. Now, many companies, in spite of that tremendous growth over period, the pricing have not increased a lot. Parle is a classic example. If you see Parle G, you can still get at a 2 rupees packet, maybe 5 or 6 biscuits. That's very much relevant from the Indian context. So it's about consistent pricing. Keep strong customer relationships. Very important from the angle of any company, because if you really want to get hold of the market for a longer period of time, it is important that your KYC needs to be good, and there has to be continuous innovation. That means that whatever has worked now need not necessarily that's going to work today as well. So innovation is important. You can expand market share by increasing profitability with increasing market share in served market. Also producing high quality products as well. Now, when I say high quality, quality is a perceived notion. When people can draw benefits from understanding the value of the product, we always say value for money. So when a customer can get value for money, for example, Walmart, if you see Walmart, it's always run by the philosophy of cost leadership. And they also understand it is not only about cost, but also value for what they have invested in. Then creating good service experience. So when you talk about in dealing with people, interacting with people, how are you connected with the people as well? You talk about Just Dial. Now, they really are with a good service experience. You talk about Meru Cab. Now, there have been few players that have came in. They were first the innovators in the industry, number one. Number two, the general impression that people have about Meru Cab is about authenticity. It's about commitment. It's about transparency. So this is also about creating good service experiences. It's also building about close relationship. That means you remember your key customers' needs, wants, and also their important dates of their life, and make them feel important and privileged. And that's where you have privileged as a theory coming in various industries. You say, you take of airlines, you always have the privileged customers. You take for Jet, you take for Indigo, you take for any of the airlines, you have a privileged flying club. And that's about building close relationship, giving them a feeling to the customer that they are privileged or important. The market challenge strategy. Now challenge the leader with an aggressive bid for more market share. That means play along with competitors and not rock the boat. Don't try to do different things, but play along with what the players in the industry are doing. Suppose the player is reducing the cost by 10%, you also do that because you're moving with the current or with the flow. Then market following strategy. When we say of market following strategy, it is a second mover advantage. Second mover advantage occurs when the market follows, observes what has made the leader successful and improves on it. So let me tell you the advantages and disadvantages of second movers. Big time advantage of a second mover. Second mover means somebody has innovated and is there in the market. But when you talk of second mover advantage, he observes what the new company is doing or the new technology is doing in the marketplace. And once he observes that, he holds and gets the feedback and sees that is there some facet or point that could be improved on or worked upon. Are there any gaps between needs and demands? So if there are any, they improvise it and give it to a customer. To your advantage and to your surprise, you will find that IBM, the first one to introduce computers, were not the first one to introduce computers. There was a very small time company who introduced the computers first. But it was IBM who kind of encashed it, saw how they could make it big, improvised upon it. They were a second mover, but really made it big from there on. It challenges firms its own size, maybe smaller as well. For example, when ITC took a second mover advantage when they thought about introducing into stationery where people like Navneet or Camlin were there. So they brought out with Classmate. You take industries like food, which they came out with Ashirwad, and a lot of their edible products where there were many big players of Hindustan Lever into the market, and that was the second mover advantage. The ideal market, if you say, the ideal market niche is big enough to be profitable with high growth potential and has little interest from competitors. The key to market niching is specialization. They say that if you want to be a niche in the industry, you need to be specialized. That means you need to have special skills or technology and people that makes it a niche. It could be a market specialization, it could be a customer specialization, or a product specialization. So when we mention about GN, resounders, they are into people who manufacture the sound box or sound meshing for the hearing impaired. It's about market niche. When you speak about customers, so when people manufacture the artificial limb, that's about customers because not all customers want it. It's a niche. And third could be product niche. So when you talk of insulin market, that's a product niche. Or either of the marketing mix of each of this. Now we will look into how to balance customers and competitor orientation. That means companies need to continuously adapt strategies to change in competitive market environment. It could be competitor centered company, it could be customer centered company, or market centered company. So when we speak of competitor centered company, the competitor centered company spends most of its time, energy, money tracking competitors' moves and market share and trying to find a way to counter them. So you have Pepsi Cola, you have Reliance Vodafone, you have a Tata Reliance in energy, in communication. So you have this one-to-one single-hand competitor. Advantage is that the company is a fighter. Disadvantage is that company becomes a reactor because you are focusing primarily on the competitor and it moves. Let's talk about the customer-centered company. Now, when we have a customer-centered company, it spends most of its time focusing on customer development and designing strategies. They looked at about how customer could be upgraded for that matter. For example, when Tata thought about an automobile, they thought that a smaller car would be more suitable to India and Asian countries, and they introduced Nano. So that was a very much a customer-centered orientation. So in metros, they introduced Nano. So they thought that parking was an issue. They thought space was an issue on roads. So based on customer development cycles, they thought about customer-centered company. It provides a better position than competitor-centered company to identify opportunities and build customer relationships. Then you have a market-centered company. So while we have a computer-based company, a customer-centered company, then the market-centered company. Market-centered company spends most of its time focusing on both competitor and customer development and designing strategies. So they take into account both the factors. So based on this, if you want to draw out or make out a chart based on these two orientations, on x-axis we have the customer-centeredness, on y-axis it's the competitor-centeredness. So based on this, yes and no, if yes and no are the two probabilities, yes for customer-centeredness and no for customer-centeredness, and that also applies to competitor-centeredness. If yes and no are the two variables, based on these two variables, we have 4 probabilities. So you will start from the bottom left quadrant. If you look into your PPT and look into the bottom left quadrant, there is a yes competitor-centered and no for customer-centered. That means it becomes competitor orientation. You take the bottom right where it is yes for competitor and also yes for customer, it becomes a market orientation. You take top left, you have no competitor oriented, neither it is for customer oriented, then it becomes a product centered orientation. You see the top right quadrant where it is customer centered but not competitor centered, becomes a customer orientation. So based on these orientation, we have the orientation of the product. So in this session, we have tried to, in this module of the session, we have tried to see how companies first understand or need to align themselves based on the competition. Now competition could be based on competitor standalone, it could be market oriented, and what kind of strategies they need to design based on that. Would it be customer centric, product centric, or the market centric? We have also seen how you can assess competitors through their strengths and weakness, through benchmarking. It could be a reactive mode, or also looking into how through customer development you can look into. So in this age of competition, it is very important being a marketing professional to understand this. Great. So now we move on to a second topic that we will be addressing, and the topic that we are very close to in terms of the digital revolution that's happening around us. So when we say digital revolution happening around us, it means that every facet of our life is touched upon by this digital age, and the topic of marketing would be absolutely incomplete if we don't touch the area of digital marketing. Now we will look into digital marketing from perspectives from one by one. So the topic will be addressing on direct and online marketing, building direct customer relationship. So it's all also about how do you directly contact customer since just with a click of a button, customers are kind of connected to the world around and also with great speed and intensity as well. So if this is the case, how in this fast-paced moving world we can connect to customers with a digital age? So we'll look into this, the topic outline. As we run through our presentation, the topic outline would be, we will look into the new direct marketing model, growth and benefits of direct marketing, customer databases and direct marketing, forms of direct marketing, online marketing, and also the public policy issues in direct marketing. So let's understand this one by one, and we'll get through various examples as well. So what is direct marketing? To call it from a marketing perspective. So direct marketing is a marketing channel without intermediaries. Now students and friends, tell me, is it a big time advantage from a marketing perspective? Yes, a very big time advantage, for the simple reason that if an organization could reach upon its customers with less or no intermediaries. When we say intermediaries, this could be in terms of various channel partners. It could be wholesalers, it could be retailers, it could be the intermediaries of logistics as well. So when we have less or no intermediaries, that is part of direct marketing. It is an element of the promotional mix, current element of the promotional mix. It is the fastest growing form of marketing. Now, advantage that direct marketing offers to buyers definitely is convenience, ready access to many products in one go, access also to comparative information about companies, products and competitors. So there are a lot of websites available for, just like for example, Car Dekho platform. There are so many available platforms for automobiles where you can compare price of vehicles, be it for a new vehicle or even a second-hand vehicle. Or you take an example of insurance products, be it a life or a non-life insurance. There are various platforms available wherein you can compare the term insurance plan with an amount, companies to company, depending on your age that you apply for. Now, it gives a very much comparative analysis, which in a normal scenario of other products offline, it is difficult to procure. You can do it, but very time consuming. True, it also adds up to the cost as well. Plus, it is interactive and immediate. One of the biggest advantages of an online marketing or digital marketing is speed, fast. So you take examples of Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeal, any of this. The key area is the speed with which they do so. The benefit to the sellers, obviously tools to build customer relationships, low cost, efficient, fast alternative to reach market. It's flexible as well, flexible in terms of payment modalities, flexible in terms of return on, flexible in terms of if you want to return the product as well, you can do so, maybe against a purchase or maybe the cash return as well. It could be any of those. It could be also access to buyers not reachable through other channels. There are a lot of areas, if you particularly see in India of Northeast, there are lots of Northeastern states where distribution is a big time challenge and also reach is a challenge. So with these kind of benefits, so if somebody from those areas want to get a book or an e-book, it just happens with the flip of a second. it's there. So the speed is a key portfolio. So when you are understanding customer databases and direct marketing, the customer database, when we call customer database, is an organized collection of comprehensive data about individual customers or prospects, including geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral data. So we have data not only about it does a good profiling mix in terms of their age, location, education, and also behavioral pattern as well, and spending pattern as well. So when we say form, there are forms of direct marketing, and the forms of direct marketing are: 1. Personal selling direct marketing. 2. Direct mail direct marketing. Catalog direct marketing. It could be a telephone marketing. It could be a direct response television marketing, the DRTM. It could be a kiosk marketing. It could be digital direct marketing or online marketing. So these are various ways of online models that are available for or as a direct marketing kit. Now, when you speak of direct mail marketing, now direct mail marketing involves an offer, announcement, reminder, or other items to a person or at a particular address. So it's about directly to the mail. It involves directly an offer being given on mail. That is, it could be an email for that matter or any other platform. This could be personalized as well. For example, you have a platform for placement. So through Naukri, companies could directly approach the client based on database of online job portals and address it directly with personalized. It could be easy to measure results. Since you have a database at your disposal, everything is digital. So database collection becomes very smooth and easy. It costs more than mass media. Now, although it is a direct marketing, understand since it's an electronic medium, it's slightly expensive than mass media. It provides better results, although it's slightly expensive, but the results that we get vis-a-vis mass media, it is very effective. Let's talk the other medium, catalog direct marketing. It involves printed and web-based catalogs. So the benefits of the web-based catalogs are one, definitely the lower cost vis-a-vis the printed catalogs, because printed adds on to the cost. 2, unlimited amount of merchandise, because since the world has become virtual through iPods, through iPhones, through mobiles, through tablets. So merchandising here means making the product available or reachable to the customer has become all the more easier. It's a real-time merchandising. So it's not about offline, it's real-time. The transaction is happening real-time. Since banking has got connected to the online portal as well, hence it has become real-time. It is an interactive content. So any kind of upgradation you want, any queries you have, it could be interacted and sorted out there and there itself. It also has promotional features as well. So if you open an inbox of an Yahoo or a Gmail, you already have a pop-up of advertisements. So if there are advantages of web-based, then there are challenges as well. So what are the challenges of web-based catalogs? Challenges are, it requires marketing. You need to still market it. 2, it is difficult in attracting new customers. So since it's a catalog, unless the customer really wants it, he will not look forward to it. So still attracting the new customer would be a challenge. The other form of direct marketing is telephone direct marketing. Now, telephone direct marketing involves using the telephone to sell directly to consumers and business customers. So it could be jobs, it could be insurance, it could be voice services, it could be data services. These are directly approached through telephone direct marketing. So there are lots of camps being organized by various companies, especially if you see tourism and travel. So if you see Mahindra and Mahindra, for that, the Mahindra Tours and Travels, they have lots of these campaigns for understanding and selling this concept. So what they do, they make use of this telephone direct marketing as a tool to invite people for their seminars, and through their seminars they go on to sell their product. So it could be through telephone direct marketing, and in the telephone direct marketing it could be outbound telephone marketing sells directly to consumers and businesses. So when we say outbound, that means customers of the organization call up the employees of the organization call up the customers. So it becomes an outbound. So all of examples that we discuss in terms of insurance, it could be travel and tourism, is all outbound. There could be inbound as well. Now, inbound telephone marketing uses toll-free numbers to receive orders from television, print ads, direct mails, and catalogs. All service issues are normally taken care by inbound telephone marketing. Now, when we talk of service issues, service is not only service, but that's also a platform or a leverage point where they could sell the product. For example, if a customer is having any query about his banking services and he calls to the toll-free number of a bank, maybe an ICICI, HDFC or any of those banks, he calls up for a query. And once he calls up for the query, if the query is resolved fast, that is a leverage point for the person who has taken up the call in the bank. Now suppose if he is happy with the services of, if he is able to give his add-on services to the customer, that could be a proven leverage point. So this person from the bank could take this opportunity to push in some other things. For example, he might say, Mr. Customer, are you happy with the product or services? This is also to inform you that we also give free credit cards to our privileged customers. Would you be interested to take it? Since we want to give value-add services to you. So there is also a leverage point for inbound telephone marketers. The DRTV. The DRTV has been there from 1990s in US and around 10-15 years in Asian markets as well. So when we have a direct response television that involves 60 to 20-second advertisements that describe products or give customers a toll-free number or website to purchase and 30-minute information such as a home shopping channels. There are a lot of shopping channels that are available. It could be for homemade furniture. It could be for any of the instruments. It could be a gym. It could be a food product. So any of these DRTV marketing also is used as a channel for direct marketing. It is less expensive. DRTV is considered to be a mass marketing tool. It is less expensive than other forms of promotion and easier to track results. The other is kiosk marketing. Now, the kiosk marketing means there are automated telemachines that are installed. It could be through banking, it could be for any value-added services where there is an automated machine used to help the customer so the customer can help himself. For example, if if a person is a frequent flyer and there are various lots of check-in counters available in various airports which are self-made kiosks where you need not stand in a line for a check-in, where you can do it for yourself on the kiosk machine. So thereby they could also put up advertisement of the flying group as well, or for a privileged customer. It's a digital direct marketing technology. It could be mobile phone marketing, it could be through podcast, it could be through podcast, it could be through interactive TV. So we'll take and discuss this one by one. So if you talk of mobile phone marketing, it includes ringtone giveaways. That means free ringtones available to people around. So when we have free ringtones available, that means it is also for the customer it's free, but when the end, when he kind of is using the ring, it's also marketing the tone as well. So you have a lot of Vodafone tones that is available, or an idea wherein the ringtones are free, but they automatically are advertisements, since whenever the bell rings, at least 10 to 15 people can literally listen to it and make an impression about it. It could be mobile games where there are a lot of pop-ups available, so that it is used as a measure to market the product deeply. It could be through an ad-supported content where you have an already an established kind of product and you have supported through an advertisement. Now within the video, if you play on any YouTube, it's supported by an advertisement. So you have the first 15 seconds that is given to the advertisement and that is used as a tool to do it. It could be through contests and sweepstakes. So let's talk about podcasts and podcasts. So what are these podcasts and podcasts? It involves the downloading of audio and video files via the internet to a handset device such as a PDA or iPod, and listening to them at the consumer's convenience becomes. So that's about podcast and podcast. It could be an interactive TV. That means it lets viewer interact with television programming and advertising using their remote controls, and provide marketers with an interactive and involving means to reach the target audience. Then obviously we have internet, which majority of people just like the video that you're being streamlined through, it's definitely a broadcast. It's a classic example of the direct marketing. This medium itself is a good example of direct marketing. The internet is a vast public web of computer networks that connect users of all types around the world to each other through a large information repository. So for example, they say these days a child, after the first word the child learns is, they say, is mama, and the second word in this revolutionary age what the child learns these days is Google, because so much we are connected on the net that we are kind of really related to each other as well. So it's about usage of internet percolating in each and every zone of our life. Now when we say of online marketing domains could be B2C, that is business to consumer. It could be B2B, that is business to business consumer. It could be C to C, that is customer to customer interaction, or it could be customer to business, C to B. So we'll address this one by one. Business to customers. Very commonly, the major chunk of it belongs to this category, and that is, it involves selling goods and services online to final consumers. B2B, where it involves selling goods and services, providing information online to businesses and building customer relationship. For example, the platforms, there are lots of platforms available through for example, a Just Dial website now, or Naukri website, or Monster website. These are platforms that are on one end, they connect two business houses to connect and give services or goods to each other. Or it could be consumer to consumer. Now that's interesting if it's consumer to consumer is concerned. Now consumer to consumer occurs on a web between interested parties over a wide range of products and subjects. Now it could be blogs, it could be blogs of a fresh, original and inexpensive way to reach fragmented audience. There are lots of blogs available, and blogs are always individual. And there are a lot of film stars, for example, Amitabh Bachchan, consumer connected to another consumer. So he can market himself or herself, anybody, through blogs. It is difficult to control because there is no confidentiality or legal laws to protect it. The consumer to business online marketing domains, it involves consumers communicating with companies to send suggestions and questions via company websites. So when company websites here are platforms where it introduces the consumer to business platform. So when a company is thinking about, when you are looking at various of these tools available as online marketing tools, and the organization is thinking of setting up an online presence, it's about creating a website requires designating an attractive site and developing ways to get consumers to visit the site, remain on the site, and return on the site. Important point. It allows consumer to visit the site, remain on the site, and come back from the site. So when you say of conducting online marketing, it requires setting up of online social networks. It needs to be networked well. Number 2, creating a website, the platform. 3, placing ads or promotional online, and then using emails. So type of sites available, it could be a corporate website or it could be a marketing website. Now when we say of corporate website is designed to build customer goodwill and to supplement other channels rather than to sell companies' products directly. So it's about building a brand equity or image of the organization. It is to provide information. If you open any website of an organization and you go to home page, it's always about the history of the company. It's about what values, what mission, vision statement that the organization has. It has definitely a point of contact us, career, what are we into, our clients, our expertise, the photo gallery. So it's about presenting the image to the customer. It creates excitement. It has a good rub-off effect on the customer. It builds relationships. So a lot of time in online digital marketing, when people look at each other on a virtual world, it is important that you cast a good first and lasting impression. So once we have a corporate website, the other is a marketing website. Now, marketing website is designated to engage consumers in interaction that will move them closer to a direct purchase or other marketing outcomes. That is to attract visitors. Companies must promote an offline promotion online link. So what companies can do is link it up with other things. It could be through Google, it could be through Facebook, link it up with off-book as well. It could be through catalogs. Create value and excitement. When you say you can create value and excitement by telling the customer that what is the customer going to benefit if you get this. It could be about bonus offer, it could be about discounting, it could be about special sales offer. And it needs to be constantly update the site. It is important that you need upgradation because technology is getting upgraded. And making the site useful and user friendly is also important. Now, in this digital world, there are two sort of people. One, the youth who are very much tech savvy, knows how to use this medium well. But there is another 30-40% of people who are in the transition phase, means they were not born and brought up in the digital world, although currently they are in the digital world. So it needs to be user friendly as well. That means every step within the site should be able to navigate, guide them easily without any hassle. So when we are thinking of designing effective websites, 7 C's becomes important in designing any website. Number 1, context. What context it has in terms of which environment the company is operating in. The content, the actual content that you are providing in terms of details of the organization, the culture, the mission, vision that we discussed about. The community, that means is it an engineering company? Is it a civil engineering company? Is it a medical equipment company? Is it an automobile company? So what kind of community are you targeting? The customization. So you have new employees, you could have career options. So what kind of customization you want? What communication you want to drive home? What connect that you want to establish with your value is important. And the last definitely is commerce. How are you going to have a real-time transaction? The end point is in any digital marketing communication, it is important for the company that it has to come down and boil down to real-time transaction. That's the end point. That's where company profits a lot. That's where it really ends up in business. That's where the bottom lines are. So we quickly summarize the 7 C's of designing effective websites. Those are context, content, community, customization, communication, connection, and commerce. Now we will look into how to place ads and promotions online. So forms of online advertising could be display ads. You have the pop-ups coming up before the actual thing. It could be an email. It could be search related ads. Suppose if you are searching for something, suppose on Google if you have typed lowest, you are on any of the portals you are searching for the lowest fare from flying from Delhi to say Jaipur, and you connect the digital in such a way that the lowest thing, if you are in the industry of airfare service provider, then you give pop-ups along with your emails attached through Google or Yahoo through a Gmail or Yahoo, the lowest fare from this date to this. So automatically the customer is getting the data. It could be online classifieds as well. So placing ads could be also in terms of banners. Banners are banner-shaped ads found on a website. So you have an actual, but just like you have a road on a roadside banner, you have the actual banner right at the bottom or at the top. Just like in this PPT, you will find in the corner a banner-shaped logo of ISBM. So you have a banner shaped coming in advertisement as well. We have interstitials are ads. Interstitials are ads that appear in between screen changes. When you change the screen, the ads pop up. It could be also pop-ups. These are ads that are usually appear in a new window in front of a window being viewed. So they are different from interstitials because interstitials comes along with the main window or the new window. But pop-up are when you click any link, a pop-up pops up in a new window and gives its exposure to the ad. It could be rich media ads, incorporate animation, videos, sound and interactivity. When the world of animation is very building and growing and expanding, so advertisement or media have used animation as a tool to a great extent as a technological breakthrough to impact customers as well. Because animation is something that people get naturally attracted to. So you have these animated movies, you have these animated advertisements. We like animation as such because we like sometimes not being real as well, and animation is not real, we all know that, but the look feel about it is very good, and that's what customer like. So it could be animated videos. The ads could be put up also based on search related advertisement as well. Now what are the search related advertisements? The search related advertisements are ads in which text-based ads and links appear alongside search engine results on sites such as Google or Yahoo and are effective in linking consumers to other forms of online promotions. It could be search-related ads. So the other forms of online could be content sponsorships, alliances, affiliate programs, and viral marketing. So let's get into one by one. Content sponsorship. Content sponsorship provides companies with name exposure through sponsorship of special content such as news or financial information. So all of these news channels could put up content sponsorship. For example, you open in Yahoo, a Yahoo News will displaying the content sponsorship. It could be alliances and affiliate programs. These are relationships where online companies promote each other. It could be travel to tourism, it could be hotels to tourism, it could be handsets to service providers. So any of these alliances which are hand in glove to each other. Viral marketing, the most talked about marketing. Just like a virus spreads along in a disease very fast, similarly, viral marketing spreads along very fast. So viral marketing is an internet version of word of mouth marketing. The more physical form is word to mouth, but when it becomes digital, it becomes viral. It involves the creation of a website, email message, or other marketing event that a customer passes along to friends. There could be social networks. There are web communities allow members to congregate online and exchange views on issues of common interest. It could be through YouTube, Facebook as well. Now, using email. When we say emails, marketers are developing enriched messages that include animation, interactivity, and personal messages as well, with streaming audio and video to compete with a cluttered email environment as well. It could be spam is unsolicited, unwanted commercial email message. So something that if you don't want, it naturally goes to spam. So any email marketing you always have that's part of legal nomenclature of of the legal laws of online marketing says that you have to mention that if you don't want to receive this email, there is a link to unsubscribe it. If you unsubscribe that advertisement, online advertisement, the next time it will go to spam. So this permission-based marketing allows users to opt in or opt out of email marketing. The online marketing will remain an important approach in the marketing mix to build customer relationships, improve sales, and communicate company and product information. It delivers products and services more effectively and efficiently. That's what the promise and the challenges. The promise obviously is speed. It's also about reaching out to people that can never reach before, but also has challenges in terms of efficiency and effectiveness as well. And we'll also speak in terms of policy issues in direct marketing. Since this is a new and emerging field, there are a lot of policy issues attached to it. It could be about customer irritation if you don't want to get to want a phone call, or unwanted mail, which kind of jumps into it. It could be customer irritation, it could be unfairness, it could be deception or fraud, or it could be privacy issues, it could be security as well. So when we talk of irritation includes annoying and offending customers. Unfairness includes taking unfair advantage of impulsive or less sophisticated buyers. Deception, that includes heat merchants who design mailers and write copy designed to mislead consumers. Internet fraud includes identity theft and financial scams as well. So when we talk of invasion of privacy, the concern is that the marketers may know too much about consumers and use this information to take unfair advantage. And that's the reason most talked about area of this subject is about privacy of data. So when people take KYC for any industry, that data could be leaked and given to other industry where some people can take advantage of it. So it's a privacy issue. It could be sales of databases. So need is about spam. It's also about children. Online Privacy Protection Act. It's about the online where children, where you don't have any idea about age, about the customer. So children is one thing that needs to be protected as far as digital protection is concerned. So these, and also the trustee is also a mechanism where it's a legal law where it abides the ethics about digital marketing. So in this chapter of online marketing, we have discussed areas about advantages about online marketing. We have seen development of websites as well, how to make a website. We have also seen the promises and challenges about online marketing. Next, we move on to the last in this section, in this module. We will discuss about retail or wholesaling. Now, if you see current market scenario, as as marketing individuals, are you aware which sort of industry has grown the maximum in the last 5 years as sector? Now, let me tell you, it was retail. Retail industry has grown the maximum in the last 5 to 10 years, a decade or so. So, when we are speaking of retail, we will discuss about wholesaling, trends in wholesaling, and various facets about it one by one. So, we'll discuss about all of these things as far as retailing and wholesaling is concerned. So, when we speak of retailing and wholesaling, every product or services, almost 90% of time is connected to retailing and wholesaling. Even when we spoke about digital age and online marketing tools as well, they require a channel of retailing and wholesaling as well, maybe to reach the product if it's in a physical form. So we'll discuss these areas one by one. The topic that we'll discuss in retailing and wholesaling would be retailing, the retailer marketing decision, the future of retailing, what it holds though, wholesaling as well. So 4 topics we'll discuss, and let me tell you, although retail industry currently in the last year or so has the growth has been very nominal, maybe 6 to 8% around. But the future, if you see, when we look into this subject, we'll see in more detail that the future holds great promises in this sector. So if you are one of the students, if you are looking for and thinking about which sector of marketing to explore, and if you have interest and fascination about retailing, it is one of the most emerging fields in the domain of marketing. So let's understand the basics. What is retailing? So retailing includes all the activities in selling products or services directly to final consumers for their personal or non-business use. That is a final nodal point where it goes from an organization to a customer. And if there are then in retailing, we need to understand who retailers are. Retailers are businesses whose sales come primarily from retailing. The amount of services. The service in retailing could be self-service, limited service, or full service. So the product line in retailing. Now we know retail sector a lot since we see malls a lot. We have seen a lot of retail outlets. It could be Reliance Fresh, it could be a chain of retailers in terms of Subiksha. You can Subiksha chains. You have the Apollo Group. You also have the Apollo clinics as well. There are lots of retailing outlets as well. So product line as far as retailing is concerned, one, the specialty store. Now what are specialty store? Specialty store are the narrow product line with deep assortment. Specialty store, for example, the Apollo Superstore of medical of chemist shop are specialty stores. It could be the department stores where there is a wide variety of product lines. So you go to any shopping mall, you have lots of department stores. It could be groceries. You have the stationery as well. A lot of department stores are there. Or it could be convenience stores where limited line of high turnover goods are given. So convenience stores could offer products that are less than department stores, but they are the fast moving goods. It could be based on stationery, it could be on foods, or we have the superstores. Now, superstores are non-food goods, where they are the bulk of it available. It could be furniture superstore, it could be electronics as well, or category killers, which are the deep in category with sales staff. So we'll look into this as we progress ahead. The types of retailer. Now the retailer could be a discount store, it could be a off-price retailer, it could be a factory outlet, or a warehouse club. Now types of retailing could be addressed based on the organizational approach. Now it could be based on corporate chains, voluntary chains, retailer cooperatives, franchisee organizations, or merchandising conglomerates. We will try to address this organizational approaches in one by one. Corporate chains. Now corporate chains are two or more outlets that are commonly owned and controlled. For example, for them, size allows them to buy in large quantities at lower prices and gain promotional economies. Classic example, Bata or Reliance Fresh. They kind of purchase in bulk and can offer it at a real low prices because they operate on the principle of volumes. Or it could be voluntary chains. Voluntary chains are wholesale sponsored group of independent retailers that engage in group buying and common merchandising. Or it could be retail cooperatives. Now retail cooperatives is a group of independent, it's a chain of retailers that band together to set up a joint owned central wholesale operation and conduct joint merchandising and promotional effort. Or it could be a franchise organization where the retailing is happening through a franchisee. Now franchise organizations are based on some unique product or services, on a method of doing business, or on a trade name, goodwill, or patent, and the franchises has developed. For example, Speakwell. Now it is a single brand, but they are gone through franchisee. So you have a Speakwell across India, and where people take up as franchisee and operate to form a retail. Or it could be merchandising conglomerates. Merchandising, way to present the product. Conglomerate, a big unit or big combined unit. Now merchandising conglomerate are corporations that combine several retailing forms under central ownership. So for example, it could be a big bazaar, it could be Shoppers Stop. These are all merchandising conglomerates. They pull in all retailers together and provide a marketplace. So they are about creating a market. In conventional term, you have a market, but merchandising conglomerate create a market under one roof. So if this is the basis of the retailers and the retailing, when you are thinking from a marketing perspective, we have to look in from what marketing decisions are going to be there. So it could be retail strategy. There means a retail segmentation and targeting, store differentiation and positioning. That it's also about shelf size. It's about how presentable, which products need to be ahead, which needs to be at the back, which needs to have a good shelf space. So it's about store positioning and differentiation. Based on this, the retail marketing mix, that means assortments by products and services, retail prices, promotion, distribution. With this strategy and marketing mix, you create value for targeted retail customers. It could be segmentation targeting, differentiation positioning. When we say of the first aspect of retail marketing, it involves the definition and profile of the market so that other retail marketing decisions can be made. It's about actually combining many things based on which these strategies could be formulated. Product assortment and service decisions include the actual assortment of the product by class, could be by price, it could be by section, or service mix. Service mix could be based on age, the product type, store atmosphere. A lot of importance is given to store atmosphere as well. Then pricing decision. When we speak about retail marketing decisions, it also has to be discussed from the perspective of pricing decisions. So price policy must fit the target market and positioning, product and service assortment and competition, where high markup on lower volume or low markup on higher volume. So based on how the product sells on the shelf, you have to design in terms of how much needs to be as a backup or how much needs to be in the shelf space as inventory, and also need to pick up the pricing as well. So for a fast moving product, obviously the pricing could be structured accordingly. When we say of high-low pricing, it involves charging higher prices on an everyday basis, coupled with frequent sales and other pricing promotions. So if you say high-low pricing, you sell on a high pricing every day, but you also have a low pricing on special day or special offers. For example, happy hours are offered for various of these outlets. It could be off season or off time. Or you have an everyday low price, EDLP as it is called so, where it involves charging constant everyday low prices with few sales or discount. So when we say, now when we have a strategy on prices in place, we have to look into what in decision making, what are the promotional decisions that need to be taken in retailing. Now promotional decisions would be applied to advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, public relations, and direct marketing. All this will be featured as we go into. Now, place decisions. Now, central business districts are located in cities and independent include department and specialty stores, banks, and movie theaters. Understand, when we speak of retailing, friends, let it be very clear. One of the biggest prime time advantage that a retailer could take in is always about the location. Three factors are important. First factor is location, second location, third location. I hope you are getting what I mean to say. It means that location is critical and important. That means the location plays a key role in retailing. The shopping center is a group of retail businesses planned, developed, owned, and managed as a unit or as a company as such. Retailers have to consider non-store retailing as well, the retail convergence, the mega retailers, the retail technology in terms of video cams available for scrutiny and advantage and understand the customer preferences. It's about global expansion as well, how the retail world is moving ahead. If you see Walmart has made it really big. It's one of the giant retailers the world ever knows of, and always have been based on everyday low prices. EDLP. It's always about everyday low prices. So we also look into, and Walmarts have then created a network across the globe now. So it's about global expansion and retail stores as communities as well. So when we have retailers of a group together, we also look into how retailers can be clubbed together as in communities so that common decision strategies could be applied to, which helps the dynamics in terms of economics as well. So with a low pricing of cost, they can either pass on the cost to the customer, that is one. Two, they can also make profits out of it as well. So now we speak of the future of retailing. The future of retailing is an interesting one because everybody who are into retailing or who want to pursue their business to unfold via retailing needs definitely to look into what does the future hold as far as retailing is concerned. So when we are speaking of the future of retailing, we are speaking in terms first of wheel of retailing concept. Now, wheel of retailing concept states that many new types of retailing forms begin as low margin, low prices, low status operations, and challenged established retailers. Let me give an example. Walmart in the first 20 years never had another center. It only had one center for the first 20 years. Now, this is a very important event, so that means they have built over it. After that, they have Walmart globally now has close to 10,000 outlets across the globe. So, beginning slow is important. You have low margin, low prices, and you are challenging the current retailers. Now, as they succeed, they upgrade their facilities, offer more services, increasing their costs and forcing them to increase prices, eventually becoming the retailers they replaced on. So, growth of non-store retailing, if you see, it includes mail orders, television, phone, online as well. So there are non-retailing space as well that includes in terms of all these four things primarily. It could be mail orders, it could be television, phone or online. Let's understand also something we call as retail convergence. Now what is retail convergence? Retail convergence includes and involves the mergers of consumers, producers, prices and retailers, creating a greater competition for retailers and greater difficulty differentiating offers. So under one roof you give it all. So you have an Aditya Birla Group, you have a Reliance Fresh, where you combine retailers, you combine various products, you combine prices as well, and hence give a good product basket as well. There has been a rise of mega retailers that involves the rise of mass merchandise and specialty superstores, the formation of vertical marketing system, and a rash of retail mergers and acquisitions. So since we have understood that also in retailing it takes time to really cut off and break through the break-even point, it is important that the retailer has to remain there for some time. They say whatever applies to other businesses also applies for retailing. That's about you have to live the first 1,000 days. Critical for any business. If you can't sustain the first 1,000 days, it will be difficult to move on. So if any organization are looking forward to take it ahead from small thing to make it big, you have mega retailing prospect as well, where it also has to be backed up by superior information system, buying powers, and large selection. Since mega retailers always have these advantages of purchasing powers in chunks and big volumes, so they have big buying powers as well. And when we have big buying powers, they also have an advantage where they can lower the cost and pass it on to the retailers, to the people as well. Growing importance of retail technology. Now, when we say growing importance of retail technology, it provides better forecast. Inventory control is crucial from a retail perspective. Electronic ordering, transfer of information, scanning, online transaction processing, improved merchandise handling systems, and the ability to connect with customers. So, since the retail is connected through digital age as well, hence these things get factored in automatically. Could be inventory control, better KYC, better logistics, better delivery as well. Wholesale, now that's about retailing. Let's speak a couple of minutes for wholesaling as well. Wholesaling includes all activities involved in selling goods and services to those buying for resale or business use. So this is for selling and promoting, buying, assortment building, bulk breaking, warehousing, transportation, financing, risk bearing, market information, management services, and advice. So when we say, we'll take it up one by one. So selling and promoting involves the wholesaler sales force. Now it is important, it's not the organizational sales force, it is wholesaler sales force helping the manufacturer reach many smaller customers at lower cost. For example, a pharma distributor, wholesaler. The pharmaceutical company doesn't reach out to the retailer. It is a wholesalers, people who are making the brand available to the retailer. They have their own workforce. What are buying assortment? Buying assortment building involves the selection of items and buildings of assortments needed by their customers, saving the customer's work. So you take up those allocated things, it saves in the customer's time. Bulk breaking. Bulk breaking involves the wholesaler buying in large quantity and breaking into small lots for customers. For example, bulk, the end retailer can buy a big bulk, but when you're selling it at a lower unit. Warehousing. Warehousing involves the wholesaler holding inventories, reducing his customers' inventory costs and risk. So a retailer might not, the inventory cost is absorbed by the wholesaler by higher warehousing. Transportation. Now, as far as wholesaling is concerned, transportation involves the wholesaler providing quick delivery due to its proximity to the buyer. Financing. Financing involves the wholesaler providing credit and financial supplies by ordering earlier and paying on time. So financing becomes important because since wholesaler is the link between the organization and the retailer, so it's about how are you financing, how many credit days are you using, or is it cash on delivery? The risk bearing. Now, when you speak of risk bearing it involves the wholesaler absorbing risk by taking title and bearing cost of theft, damage, spoilage, or obsolescence. That means any risk in terms of the spoilage or theft is been taken up by the wholesaler as well. Market information. Now, market information involves the wholesaler providing information to suppliers and customers about competitors, new products, and price development. In wholesaling, it's also about management services and advice. It involves wholesalers helping retailers train their sales clerk, improve store layouts, and set up accounting and inventory control systems. So it's the wholesaler is involved in managing the show as well. Types of wholesaler. Wholesalers could be a merchandise wholesaler, it could be agent or broker, or it could be manufacturer sales branch offices. Now, merchant wholesaler is the largest group of wholesalers that include full service wholesalers who provide a full set of services. So even logistics is being taken care of them. Or it could be limited service wholesaler who provide few services and specialized function. Or it could be brokerage sales and agent wherein the brokerage agent do not take the title, perform few functions and specialize by product, line of customer type. The brokers bring buyers and sellers together and assist in negotiation. Agent represent buyers or sellers over here. The manufacturer sales branches and offices is a form of wholesaling by sellers or buyers themselves rather than through independent wholesalers. So wholesaler marketing decision is similar. First, we have a wholesaler strategy wherein comes segmentation and targeting, differentiation, from where there is a marketing mix which looks into products and services, promotion and distribution based on what create value for the wholesalers. Then based on it, the target market and position decisions are based on size of customers, type of customers, and need of service as well. The marketing mix decisions are based on product, price, the 4 P's, product, price, promotion, place. And then we have the challenges as well. The challenges in terms of resistance are there. Resistance in terms of price increase. It could be lack of suppliers as well. Resistance could come in terms of lack of suppliers as well. It could be also various other facets as well. It could be changing customer needs. Understand, even from a wholesaling as well, suppose if a company moves into a sector of wholesaling, now at that point of time the market was flamboyant, it was aggressive, it was robust. So there was a huge demand to it, and there was a huge demand at the retailer end. And the retailer also used to put up the demand at the wholesalers as well. But suppose what if the market itself has gone down the product? I'll give you an example to demonstrate this. For example, if you have seen pagers have a very small market, but it was soon replaced by mobile, and the customer need changes, it becomes a huge challenge as well. Adding value by increasing efficiency and effectiveness is also one of the challenges of wholesaling. So in today's session, what we have covered today, one is about the growth strategies. We have seen about digital marketing. We have also seen retailing and wholesaling as well. Thank you.